Are you staring at a blank page, trying to figure out how to even start your social studies essay? You know you need to build a killer argument, but how? Well, today, we're going to break down exactly how to do that. We're going to turn your ideas into a top-scoring response using a tool that is simple but, trust me, incredibly powerful. We've all been there, right? You've got all this knowledge bouncing around in your head. You've read the sources, but actually connecting it all into a smooth, high-scoring essay, it can feel a little chaotic. So how do you get all that great stuff organized into something truly impressive? That's the exact question we're tackling today.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about the essay challenge itself. Then, I'm going to introduce you to your new secret weapon, the Peel method. After that, we'll put it straight to work with 2 real case studies, one on scams and another on governance. And we'll wrap up by showing you how to craft that final winning argument that really sets you apart.
Look, a social studies essay isn't just a memory test. It's not asking, hey, what do you know? No, it's a challenge. It's designed to see if you can analyze a situation, pull different ideas together, and, most importantly, build a powerful, evidence-based argument. It's not about just listing facts, it's all about proving your point.
So, how do we build that perfect argument, one solid paragraph at a time? Let me introduce you to the Peel method. And listen, I know it's another acronym, but this one is a game changer. It's a simple, elegant framework that's going to help you structure your writing with so much more precision and impact.
Okay, first up, the P is for point. This is your topic sentence. Think of it like a signpost for your reader. It tells them exactly what this paragraph is going to prove with zero confusion. One clear, direct sentence. That's it. Next, we've got the first E, which stands for evidence. Now, this is the absolute backbone of your argument. You have to back up your point with specific details that come directly from the sources you're given. This isn't about what you remember from class. It's about proving you can use the material right in front of you. And now for the second E, explanation. Honestly, this is where the magic happens. You can't just drop a quote and walk away. You've got to connect the dots for the reader. Explain how and why that piece of evidence proves the point you just made. This is where you really show your thinking, and it's what separates a decent answer from a truly fantastic one. And finally, L is for link. This is your closing sentence. You wrap everything up nice and neat by connecting the entire paragraph directly back to the main essay question. It reinforces your argument and basically shouts, "See? I've answered the question." All right, enough theory. Let's get our hands dirty and put Peel into practice. We're going to start with a question about a super relevant issue: how to deal with the rise of scams. Okay, here's our first question. Notice what it's asking for. 2 messages: reduce scams and explain. So it's looking for a structured, thoughtful answer, not just a quick list. This is the perfect place to use Peel to build our paragraphs. So for our first message, our point is crystal clear. A key message we need to share is the importance of practicing vigilance. It's a strong keyword, and it's a direct answer to the question. Now, we need evidence, so we go straight to extract 1. The source tells us scams are increasingly serious and that they come in all kinds of forms: phishing, job scams, you name it. But here's the clincher. The extract says they're becoming more sophisticated. That little phrase right there is the perfect fuel for our point about vigilance. And here comes our explanation, where we connect the dots. Because scammers are always changing their game, we have to stay on our toes. So vigilance isn't just about being a little cautious. It's about actively staying updated on new types of scams. That's what really gives people the power to spot those red flags and avoid becoming a victim. And to finish, we have our link. We tie the whole paragraph right back to the question's goal. Promoting vigilance directly helps reduce scam incidents. See how that completes the loop? Point, evidence, explanation, link. It's a perfect paragraph. Okay, let's build our second paragraph. For our next point, we're going to be just as direct. We have to encourage people to always conduct verification. Another strong, clear keyword that hits the question head-on. And for our evidence, we're going right back to the source. Extract 1 literally says, it is important for everyone to stay alert and verify before responding to unfamiliar messages or calls. I mean, it couldn't be any clearer. The source is basically handing us the answer on a silver platter. Now for the explanation. We have to spell out what verification actually looks like. It means you don't just trust a random text or call. Instead, you check the info yourself through an official channel. So if you get a weird text from your bank, you don't click the link. You flip over your debit card and call the official number on the back. That one simple step completely shuts down the scammer's plan. And we finish with the link. We wrap it up by saying that promoting verification gives people a real, practical tool to stop scams cold. It's not some vague idea, it's a specific action that empowers them. And just like that, we have two perfectly structured, powerful paragraphs. All right, let's level up. The Peel method isn't just for straightforward questions. It's also the perfect tool for those more complex, comparative questions, where you have to weigh two different things against each other and make a call. Now, this question is definitely a bit tougher. It's asking for a judgment call. Which of these two things is more of a challenge? To answer that well, you first have to build a balanced argument, where you explore the challenges of both factors, using that same Peel structure.
First, let's make sure we're on the same page with these terms. Differing needs, that's about the basic conflicts over what different people want. Like one group wants a new highway for faster commutes, but another group wants to preserve a forest. Unequal sharing of costs, that's about who pays the price for a decision. For that highway, it might be the people whose homes have to be torn down.
Okay, so this is where Peel really shines as a tool for analysis. We can use it to build a solid case for both sides of the argument. So for differing needs, our point is that it's tough because pleasing one group often means upsetting another, and Extract 2 backs this up. The real challenge is that these competing interests make finding a compromise so hard. Now, for unequal costs, our point is that it's a huge challenge because it feels unfair, which Extract 3 points out. This can cause a lot of anger when one group feels like they're taking the hit for everyone else. By using Peel for both sides, we've laid all the groundwork we need to make a really smart final judgment.
So, you've laid out the arguments for both sides. Now comes the final and most important step that the question is asking for. You have to make a well-reasoned judgment. This right here is what the top-tier answers all have in common.
So which one is it? After weighing everything, you can make a really powerful final judgment. And here's a great way to think about it. One could argue that differing needs are the more fundamental challenge. And why is that? Well, because the problem of unequal costs often starts with the attempt to solve the problem of differing needs. Think about it. A government trusts to balance the needs of drivers and nature lovers. And because of that decision, some homeowners face an unequal cost. Tackling the root cause of a problem is almost always a bigger challenge than dealing with its effects. And that's not just an answer. That's a masterclass in how to build an argument. What do you think?